Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Everything is Bad new Fangled motion picture show.
What are we doing, Nolan?
We are reviewing Marshall.
Yep. I'm Niall.
I'm Nolan.
Yeah, and this is New Fangled Motion Picture Show.
Right. So we're gonna do a spoiler-free review.
As is tradition.
Yep. And then we're gonna throw up a spoiler warning, and then we'll go into more in-depth discussion of Marshall.
Well, there's not a whole lot to spoil. Like, you see the ending coming a mile away. It's obvious.
Yeah, even if you're not aware of the historical events. And then, I mean, we're a little bit late on this, but we just didn't have time to see Marshall otherwise. But I don't know if there's that many people reviewing Marshall out there right now. I don't know how well it's doing. It's sort of limited release right now.
There are at least 635 people who have rated it on IMDb, apparently.
Yeah, it's getting a little better than average. Well, I thought it was a pretty good movie.
It was an excellently done movie.
Nothing groundbreaking.
Nothing groundbreaking. Like, there wasn't like any twists. You knew what the ending was going to be going into it. Not even because like I knew anything about the case, because I didn't. All I knew going into this, all I knew about Thurgood Marshall going into this, was that he was the first Black Supreme Court justice that we had, and also that he used to be a lawyer with the NAACP.
At the time, the only lawyer with the NAACP.
Yeah, at the time that this movie takes place.
Which
that's
is
literally all I knew about
the
Thurgood
30s,
Marshall.
Late 30s. It's before World War II, but during the Nazi.
I think it's during World War II, but before America's involvement.
Yeah.
Based on, I mean, we can look up and see when the court case was easily enough. I'm just looking to see if it's in the synopsis here. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
Based on the context of what people were saying, they were talking about how, like let the Reds and the fascists fight it out over there and let them take each other out, which sort of to me implies they were already fighting.
Right, and then Josh Gad
immediately before they fought, they were allies. So
yeah, and Josh Gad's character Sam Friedman,
it did not sound so
who is
there we go,
is Jewish.
Yep.
There was a scene, not really a spoiler or anything. There's a scene where his wife tells him that like some family of theirs back in Europe had been thrown into a camp or something.
Well, it had been taken anyway.
Oh yeah, had been taken.
We can only assume thrown into a camp.
Right. So anyway, it was a pretty good movie. Like I said, nothing groundbreaking. It is kind of Oscar bait.
I like to refer to this movie as Chadwick Boseman tries to get an Oscar too.
Right, because he deserved at least a nod for 42.
Yep, he was excellent in that movie.
He's really good anyway. He's very charismatic.
Yeah, he was excellent in this movie.
Yeah, he's very charismatic, and you just like him.
Yeah. In fact, after this movie, we're like, why is Chadwick Boseman not playing the young Lando in the Han Solo movie?
Right.
He's got the smirk. He's got the charisma. He's got the smooth voice.
Yeah, he totally. And we thought he was still. It's funny. He's a lot older than I thought he was.
Yeah, he's 40.
He's 40. I thought he was the most like around 30. He just looks younger than he is. It's that smooth skin he has.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's really good. Everyone's really good in this. There wasn't any bad performances at all.
There was nothing but excellent performances all around.
Yep. Definitely recommend it. It's sort of a limited release, though, I think.
Yeah, so it was only on the west side of town here. Or, oh no, it was only playing in one place on the west side of town.
It was at the Aliante.
Oh, that's North Central.
Yeah,
That's
true.
I could have gone there, I guess. I didn't think about
it. It's fairly near us, but...
Yeah, it would have been inconvenient for me today.
Right.
So...
yeah, it's
yeah, I mean, go see it. It deserves to make money. This movie does.
Yeah, it was.
Even though going into it, I guess technically it's a potential spoiler, so I won't say. But going into it, you know who's gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
or you know what the outcome of the case is going to be, because it's a movie, and these only go one way.
Yeah.
It's it's not a TV series like Boston Legal, where it's like, yeah, we can let them lose a few, it's fine.
Yeah, in the movie, they always...
Yeah.
Almost always. I think there was a John Grisham. Was it the Rainmaker that he lost but still came out on top somehow? Or
yeah,
he was in the Rainmaker, like he lost the case, but he gained so much notoriety. He, started getting all kinds of clients or something.
Yeah, no, this movie coming up with Denzel Washington, where he plays a lawyer. Looks like he probably loses some stuff in that.
Yeah. We were calling it, though, that Chadwick Boseman's gonna be the next Denzel Washington.
Yeah, he's the charismatic, excellent actor, excellent black actor that they need that they always bring in for like serious dramatic roles.
Yep.
But yeah.
Or the occasional black superhero.
Yeah, because Chadwick Boseman is Black Panther. If you were the two people on the internet unaware of that,
right?
I think there were more people that first heard of him when they announced him for Black Panther than who had seen him in anything he had been in previous.
Yeah. I'd seen him in just a couple things previously.
He'd only been in a couple things previously. I think
a couple things of any note.
Yeah, we saw him in 42 and Get On Up.
Yeah, and he was great in both of those.
Yeah, Get On Up was not as interesting of a movie.
No.
Just because the story that was told wasn't as interesting. But Chadwick Boseman's performance was excellent.
Yeah. This one is better timed. Those other two movies were early on in the year, so they get forgotten by the time Oscar season rolls around.
For Oscar bait, for Oscar season, this movie has everything. It's got a charismatic minority overcoming steep odds. It's a period piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like everything.
It's even got persecuted Jews.
Yeah, it's got persecuted Jews, reference to Nazis and the Holocaust.
So basically, it's Blazing Saddles. Everything you just described.
Yeah, I suppose.
Everything you just described is in Blazing Saddles. But, it's, well, I don't think we see much more without spoiling anything. It's a good movie. You should see it.
Yep. Alright, spoiler time.
Spoilers.
Boosh. He wins.
Yep.
They win.
But we knew that going in.
The good guys win.
We knew that going in.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make it necessarily a bad movie. In movies that are,
Well, I think the point of, like, courtroom drama movies, since you know who's the outcome in almost every one of them,
is how they
do it. Yeah, that's what's important to the story, is how it happens. And there's always, like, whenever it's, like, a race-related thing, like, if it's this, or A Time to Kill, or something like that, there's always a point where, like, you have a judge who is racist, but then he has, like, this moment of conscience where he's like, okay, I'm gonna let this go, or I'm gonna allow this.
Yeah, and that happens.
That I wouldn't have otherwise. They'd set a pattern, but then he just he let something through that is.
Man, so every time I see a courtroom drama movie, I think I don't know why, I think of this one particular shot in 12 Angry Men, where it hard cuts to a close up on one of the jurors' faces in the
jury box?
No, in where they discuss, where they deliberate.
Yeah.
I don't know what that room is called. I haven't been picked for a jury yet.
I have been, but I don't remember what the room's called.
But it's just like a close up, and it's like a hard cut, and it's startling, and he just goes, "I am." And I don't remember what it's in response to. But
who grabbed my ass? Who's grabbing my ass?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it says like "I do" or something like that. But I don't remember what it is even in response to, or what. I just remember watching that movie in high school, and that one thing just sticks out in my mind.
Just go, ah.
Yeah, it's just like, it's everyone in the room just like, ah. when it cut to that. But that always goes through my mind in these courtroom drama movies.
I think the room's like the deliberation room, or
Room del Deliberating.
Yeah. Anyway.
So. Yeah, and I mean it's an enjoyable thing. I think it's there's enough twists and turns where it's like, aha, they got him, and then oh no, the defense
Smarter than they realize,
right. Although, but it's not even that the defense was like, we know that they're gonna do this, so we're gonna preempt, we're gonna get ahead of it. It's their clients legitimately lying to them, and they don't realize it.
Right.
They probably do at the end.
Yeah.
But
I felt sorry for that woman because, like, she's gonna get the shit beat out of her.
Oh yeah, she. I mean, it was
and
already
like the
defendant.
her out of the defendant, whatever his name is, he's like walking towards her because he's like looking at her like, oh man, she's gonna get beaten to death, and he's got this look at his face like, I need to do something.
Yep.
For this woman, despite the fact that she like accused me of raping her, I need to do something. He's got this look in his face like something needs to be done because she's gonna be beaten to death by her husband, and then he's preempted by the guy from the NAACP or something stepping his way to.
Well, there's that, and there's also the guy's like grabs her by both arms.
Yeah, her husband grabs her and yanks her out of there. But yeah, basically, this woman accuses this man of raping her, and what had actually happened is her husband's abusive and he's gone a lot, and so she's lonely and feeling depressed because of how she's treated, and her driver comes to ask her to borrow for some money, and she seduces him, and afterwards she's like, I just had sex with a black man. And it's the 1940s.
Her thought process probably wasn't, I just had sex with a black man, and it's the 1940s.
Because okay, like in 20-something years, this will be okay, but right now it's not okay, so I need to do something about this. And so she gets him to take her on a drive because he's her chauffeur. And when they get to this bridge, she like jumps off this bridge.
Yep. And then she claims later that he raped her, tied her up, threw her over the railing.
Right, tried to kill her, but there's all these not inconsistencies in her story, but things like
that don't make sense.
That don't make sense. Like, well, if he's trying to kill you, why would he throw you in the lake on one side of the bridge when the other side of the bridge is rocky?
One side is placid, the other side is like rocky. 2 inches deep and rocky as hell.
Right, and then you say you at no point ever called for help. Well, I was gagged with just this strip of cotton that wouldn't have stopped you from yelling.
And they demonstrate in the courtroom
like how loud you can yell with him gagged.
Yeah.
And then also like he threw rocks at her. That was like this weird. Like he threw off the bridge and then threw rocks at her, and they show that like there are no large rocks. There's pebbles around the area, but you can't find any large rocks.
Right, and they also said it would make no sense if he had planned to kill her, not to kill her before he dumped her in the lake.
Yeah, and then but also if you're gonna kill her by throwing her off a bridge, why throw her into the placid lake on one side when the other side is rocky?
Yeah.
And there's all this stuff that doesn't make sense, but when they finally get him on the stand and ask him like, "Why didn't you tell the truth?" He's like, "I'm black. If I tell the truth, I get killed. I'm gonna get lynched or something."
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, in the end, he's declared not guilty, and goes on his way. And Thurgood Marshall is
down to Mississippi
to defend a
14-year-old boy accused of killing a police officer.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a good movie. Recommend you go see it. Do not be surprised if you see at least a couple of nominations.
Yeah.
I could see Chadwick Boseman getting nominated for Best Actor and Josh Gad getting nominated for Best Supporting Actor in this.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, whether or not, Chadwick Boseman was great. Josh Gad was good. He wasn't. wasn't on screen enough, I think, to really get a sense of that he was great, but he was definitely really good. However, he's in an Oscar baity movie. So the Academy will eat that shit up. Alright. But yeah, I think it's about all we can say about this movie.
Yeah,
so,
there's not a whole lot.
Anything next week? Do you remember? Oh yeah, Suburbicon. With Matt Damon. And Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
Weird. Man, ooh, that is a rough Metascore it has here.
Ooh,
4.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah,
man. But
God.
is it
I mean,
have that
it
rating because it's just too weird of a movie?
I mean, it could be. I mean, it looks almost like Edward Scissorhands. like this, like
the town
50s suburbia,
but like
or 60s,
over
60s.
the top. Yeah, it's 60s, but like over the top.
Yeah, I like those sort of period pieces though. Just like things were so
like
campy
excessively of that time period.
Yeah, like they're just slapping you in the face with the time period.
Yeah.
I only was like high water pants in the trailer too.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that'll be next week. And then the week after that's Thor Ragnarok, and then the week after that is Murder on the Orient Express. Oh, also the same week as Thor Ragnarok is Roman J. Israel Esquire.
Yeah, that Denzel Washington.
It's that Denzel Washington movie where he plays a lawyer, although he seems there's some stuff in the movie that kind of implies that maybe he's not all like squeaky clean.
All right, I'm assuming that movie Lady Bird is not about Lyndon Johnson's wife.
The adventures of a young woman living in Northern California for a year.
Doesn't sound like it.
Oh man, does that sound like a thrilling synopsis? Ooh boy.
Yep. Well, there's a movie about LBJ, so Lady Bird might be in that. Lady Bird might be in that.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, and then I'm real excited for Murder on the Orient Express. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'll say it again next week and the week after.
Okay.
And hopefully the week after that I'll say it was great.
We'll see. Alright, so I guess all we gotta say about that.
Go check us out on Twitch. We stream on Sundays. What did we stream? Oh, we did Ogre last week.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do this week.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
I don't think Ogre warrants more than one.
No, no, it doesn't.
Let's play.
Although RROC Digital liked that tweet. Not that means anything for their 600 followers or whatever. We'll probably play Dark Future when that comes out, though, also from RROC. But yeah, we'll figure out what we're playing on Sunday later.
Okay.
And then next week, like I said, we'll be reviewing Suburbicon. So check that out. So until next time, thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.